Hello, my name is Jentrell Stembridge, and I'm enrolled in the Instructional Technology Education Specialist Program. I currently work as the 8th grade reading teacher at Hateville Charter Middle School in Fulton County and have been working there for the past 10 years. I have also taught language arts and specialty education at the school. Over my years at the school, I have noticed two major yet addressable problems. The first situation is the limited amount of technology available and subsequent effective technology use at the school. Second, there is consistently a large number of students who hang out after school. Because of these two situations, the purpose of my capstone project was to develop a technology-based and student-centered after-school program for the students. Just to give a little background about the demographics of the school. Hayville is a Title I focused school, and the majority of the students are African American. Many of the students come from socioeconomically disadvantaged homes. The majority of the students receive general education services. To further explain the technology problem at the school, I offer this. At the time of the proposal at the 8th grade campus, there were two mobile carts that housed 30 laptop computers each. Since then, an additional cart has been brought in, but it is shared with the high school. Teachers must share the computers by reserving them through the school's IT department. There are also 3 classrooms that have mounted projectors. Many teachers opt not to develop lesson plans that require computers because they aren't always available. Those teachers who do use the computers generally use them for student review games, typing documents, conducting research, and creating basic presentations. In addition to the lack of equipment, teachers lack the necessary training on effective use of technology and how it can be used in the classroom. The second problem is this. Imagine that your students are released from school at 3:30 and you are contracted until 4:30. With tutorial, meetings, grading papers, and other responsibilities, though, you sometimes don't clock out of work until 6 o'clock, sometimes even later. Once you finally prepare to leave school, you walk out and see that there are students still present. They aren't in tutorial or participating in extracurricular activities. They seem to be just hanging out. This is all too often the scene at the 8th grade campus. After school, many students remain well after the day is over as their parents are working. Many of these students are performing below level, and although tutorial is offered, they choose not to participate because they think it's boring. Or they may attend, but are not picked up immediately after the sessions end. With Hateville now identified as a focus school, it is increasingly important for teachers to gain the attention of these students. In an effort to address the two problems, that of students not having access to technology and an excess of unsupervised students hanging out after school, I wanted to establish an after-school program that encouraged students to participate in engaging projects that allowed them to work together to address real-life situations. To plan for the project, I wanted to identify teachers, parents, and community members willing to participate in the after-school program. From there, we will use performance data to identify students who will benefit from participating. I will collaborate with the volunteers to establish 2 major cross-curricular activities and implement them. We will monitor student development and progression in the after-school program as well as in their core classes. Finally, we will facilitate a culminating student presentation at the end of the year parent-teacher community organization meeting. Students will participate in 2 engaged learning projects and develop a multimedia presentation describing what they learned and the skills they developed as a result of participating in the program. We will evaluate the success of the program by the amount of participation as well as by measuring student projects and their presentations. Teachers will issue bi-weekly progress reports to help keep track of their classroom academic performance. As with many experience with teaching, Not every aspect of the capstone went as planned. Things started well with the development and distribution of surveys that were used to determine participant current use of and desire to learn more about technology and the availability to participate in the program. Survey results showed that many students and teachers had an interest in learning more about technology and a high interest in participating in the after-school program. Once I gathered this information, I met with the interested teachers to talk about the ISTE standards for teachers and students, as well as the loading framework. This took more time than anticipated because of our regular teaching duties, changes in schedules, and a lack of planning time. After this, we worked together to identify students who were at risk due to their class performance, previous standardized test scores, particularly in math, reading, and science, and previous class performance. We also took this time to identify possible project-based learning activities and web quests that students could work on. Partially because of the time crunch, we decided to first work on the web quest covering the novel Bad Boy by Walter D. Myers, as the majority of the students will read the novel during the second semester. Before starting the program, teachers developed additional exercises that would be a part of the project. Once we started the program, students worked in small groups with teachers as a facilitator to complete the varying aspects of the project. As part of the project, students planned a trip to the book setting, Harlem, New York. Their planning process included calculating the cost of traveling, including transportation to and within the city. It also included hotel stay and the cost of eating. Students researched various modes of transportation and collaborated to decide the best way to travel. They had to research differences in weather conditions and consider how times of the year will impact travel. They identified travel routes, identifying different land features and important places and people they would cross during their trip. They even calculated the miles and average cost of gas in the states through which they would travel should they choose to drive. Finally, they developed presentations on money management and budgeting and created brochures advertising a trip to the city. They gained a full experience with planning an out-of-state trip. Unfortunately, due to a lack of time, students were unable to complete the second project. Another problem that I ran into was maintaining consistency of participation. Students enjoyed working on the project, but some students and even teachers began participating in other after-school activities. And as standardized testing and final exams drew nearer, some of the students opted to attend tutorial rather than participate in the program. Because we have regular scheduled Saturday school sessions, I was able to incorporate the project then as well as during class time. At the culmination of the program, teachers did say that many of the students who participate in the program also participated in class more, collaborated with students, asked more questions, and produced stronger projects. Standardized test results at the end of the semester, however, did not show a positive correlation between participation in the program and performance on standardized tests across content areas. Even though improving standardized test performance was not a major goal of the project, seeing an improvement in this area would have been a further reason to implement the program in the future. The experience of trying to develop an after-school program was enlightening. It took a great deal of planning and even making adjustments to those plans. Even though students were only able to complete the one project, they gained the experience of using new tools, collaborating, and even learned that they can address multiple subject areas when working on one project. The students face challenging tasks, and develop products that reflected what they learned. Teachers gain experience with WebQuest and cross-curricular project development. Overall, I consider the project a success, and with some adjustments, would like to implement the program again next year and encourage my colleagues to incorporate more project-based and engaged learning activities in their classes. Research shows that by the year 2020, there will be an increase in the number of jobs requiring experience with computer technology. Unfortunately, it also shows that students in schools with a large population of minority students, such as Hapeville Charter, are less likely to use computers for challenging tasks like WebQuest or video games. This project is evidence that with guidance and proper equipment, students in Title I schools can use technology in meaningful ways and compete for those technology-based careers in the near future.